Narendra Damodar Das Modi was born on the 17th of September 1950 in Vadnagar, a historic town nestled in the Mehsana district of Gujarat, India. His family belonged to the Modganchi community, which was traditionally involved in oil pressing. They lived a life of modest means, facing the everyday struggles that were common to many Indian families of that era. These early experiences in Vadnagar provided him with a profound understanding of the challenges faced by ordinary people. The values of hard work and perseverance were instilled in him from a very young age, really shaping his outlook on life and service. He was the third of 6 children born to Damodaras Mulchan Modi and Hiraben Modi. His father ran a small tea stall at the Vadnagar railway station, and young Narendra often lent a helping hand at this tea stall. This early exposure to work taught him the dignity of labour. It also gave him a unique window into the lives of diverse individuals who passed through the station. Listening to their stories and conversations broadened his young mind. His mother, Hiraben, was a deeply religious and hard-working woman whose influence on him was immense and enduring. Life in Vadnagar was simple yet enriching for young Narendra. He attended the local school, where he was known as an average student but a keen debater. He showed an early interest in theatre and participated in school plays. These activities helped him develop his oratory skills, which would become a hallmark of his later political career. The ancient temples and rich cultural heritage of Vadnagar also left a lasting impression on him. He would often spend time in the local library, reading about history and great leaders, nurturing a nascent interest in public life and the world beyond his small town. His childhood was not just about school and helping at the tea stall. It was also about observing society around him. He witnessed poverty and social disparities firsthand, and these observations stirred a desire within him to contribute to societal betterment. The atmosphere of post-independence India, filled with aspirations and challenges, also influenced his thoughts. The stories of national heroes and the freedom struggle were still fresh in public memory. These narratives of sacrifice and nation-building played a part in moulding his early ideals and his eventual path towards public service and political engagement. As Narendra Modi moved into his teenage years, a spirit of inquiry and a desire to explore began to grow within him. He felt a pull towards understanding India in all its vastness and diversity. This was not merely wanderlust, it was a deeper quest for knowledge and spiritual understanding. At the age of 17, he made a significant decision to leave home and travel across the country. This period of travel was truly transformative, exposing him to different cultures, traditions, and the varied landscapes of India. He visited ashrams and religious centers seeking wisdom from saints and spiritual leaders. His travels took him to various parts of India, including the Himalayas. He spent time in the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram in Rajkot and later in Belur-Math near Kolkata. These experiences deepened his spiritual inclinations and introduced him to the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, whose philosophy of service and national regeneration greatly influenced him. He lived an ascetic life during these travels, with minimal possessions and a focus on learning and introspection. This period of renunciation and self-discovery was crucial in shaping his character and his commitment to a life dedicated to a larger cause than personal advancement. The journey was not just spiritual, it was also a profound social education. He met people from all walks of life, listening to their concerns and understanding their struggles. This direct interaction with the common folk of India gave him invaluable insights into the nation's grassroots realities. He saw the poverty and the potential of the country up close. These experiences solidified his resolve to work for the betterment of society. The travels instilled in him a sense of detachment and a strong will, qualities that would later define his political persona and his approach to governance. Upon returning from his travels after about 2 years, Narendra Modi was a changed individual. The young man who had left Vadnagar had gained a broader perspective on life and the nation. He had a clearer sense of purpose. While he did not immediately plunge into politics, the seeds of public service were firmly sown. His experiences as a wanderer and seeker had prepared him for a life of discipline and dedication. This phase of his life, marked by introspection and exploration, laid a strong foundation for his future endeavors in the service of the nation. After his extensive travels and period of self-discovery, Narendra Modi sought an organization that resonated with his ideals of discipline, nationalism, and service to society. Around 1971, at the age of 21, he formally became a full-time worker, or prakarak, for the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or RSS. The RSS is a Hindu nationalist organization known for its emphasis on character building, discipline, and dedication to the Indian nation and its culture. For Modi, the RSS provided a structured platform to channel his energies and commitment towards nation-building activities. This marked the beginning of his long association with the organization. As an RSS prakarak, Modi led a life of austerity and rigorous discipline. Prakaraks typically do not marry and dedicate their lives to the organization's work. He was involved in various grassroots activities, organizing training camps and spreading the RSS ideology. This work required him to travel extensively within Gujarat, further deepening his understanding of the state's social and political landscape. He learned organizational skills, strategic thinking, and the art of motivating people. The RSS training instilled in him a strong sense of duty and a systematic approach to work, which proved invaluable in his later political career. During the emergency imposed in India from 1975 to 1977, when civil liberties were suspended and many opposition leaders were arrested, Narendra Modi played an active role in the underground movement against it. He was involved in distributing literature critical of the government and organizing clandestine meetings. This period was a crucial test of his commitment and organizational abilities. He worked discreetly, often in disguise, to support the pro-democracy movement. This experience, during a challenging period for Indian democracy, further honed his political acumen and strengthened his resolve to work for the nation. His dedication and organizational capabilities within the RSS did not go unnoticed. He gradually rose through the ranks. In 1985, the RSS assigned him to the Bharatiya Janata Party, its political affiliate. This was his formal entry into mainstream politics. Initially, he served as an organization secretary for the BJP in Gujarat, where his skills in planning and execution were quickly recognized. His RSS background provided him with a strong ideological grounding and a dedicated cadre base, which were instrumental in his subsequent political journey and his rise within the BJP. Narendra Modi's formal political career began with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Gujarat. His organizational acumen, honed during his years as an RSS prakarak, proved to be a significant asset. He played a crucial role in strengthening the party at the grassroots level. His strategic planning was evident in the successful organization of L.K. Advani's Ram Rath Yatra in Gujarat in 1990 and Murli Manohar Joshi's Ekta Yatra in 1991-92. These events helped the BJP gain considerable political traction in the state. Modi's reputation as a master strategist and an efficient organizer grew steadily within the party circles during these formative years. In October 2001, Narendra Modi was appointed as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, succeeding Keshubhai Patel. This was a significant turning point in his political career, as he had no prior experience in legislative or ministerial roles. His appointment came at a challenging time for the state, which was still recovering from the devastating Bhuj earthquake earlier that year. Modi immediately focused on reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts, demonstrating his administrative capabilities. He introduced new models for disaster management and urban development, aiming to transform challenges into opportunities for growth and modernization in Gujarat. His tenure as Chief Minister, which lasted until May 2014, was marked by a strong emphasis on economic development and investment. Gujarat witnessed significant industrial growth, and Modi actively promoted the state as an attractive investment destination through initiatives like the Vibrant Gujarat Summits. His governance model focused on efficiency, e-governance, and infrastructure development, including improvements in power supply to rural areas and road connectivity. This period earned him a reputation as a pro-development leader, and Gujarat's economic progress under his leadership was widely discussed and often praised, becoming known as the Gujarat model. However, his time as Chief Minister was also marred by significant controversy, most notably the 2002 Gujarat riots. These communal disturbances, which resulted in a large number of deaths, predominantly among the Muslim minority, occurred following the Godhra train fire. Modi's administration faced severe criticism for its handling of the riots, with allegations of state complicity or inaction, while subsequent investigations by a Supreme Court-appointed special investigation team did not find prosecutable evidence against him directly. The episode remained a contentious part of his legacy and drew considerable national and international scrutiny. After more than 12 years as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi was chosen by the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP, to be its prime ministerial candidate for the 2014 Lok Sabha elections. His campaign was energetic and really focused on promises of economic development, good governance and strong leadership for India. He traversed the length and breadth of the country, addressing massive rallies and connecting with voters through innovative uses of technology, including three-dimensional hologram projections. His slogan, Aake Din Aane Wala Hain, which means "good days are coming," resonated widely with an electorate seeking change and aspiring for progress. The 2014 general election results were, honestly, historic. The BJP, under Modi's leadership, secured an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha on its own, winning 282 out of 543 seats. This was the first time in 3 decades that a single party had achieved such a clear mandate. The National Democratic Alliance, or NDA, led by the BJP, won a total of 336 seats. On the 26th of May 2014, Narendra Modi was sworn in as the 14th Prime Minister of India. His victory was seen as a significant shift in Indian politics, heralding a new era of governance and aspirations. Upon assuming office, Prime Minister Modi outlined his vision for a transformed India. His initial focus was on reviving economic growth, improving administrative efficiency, and enhancing India's standing on the global stage. He launched several flagship initiatives early in his term, such as the Make in India campaign to boost manufacturing, the Swachha Bharat Abhiyan for cleanliness, and the Jan Dhan Yojana for financial inclusion. His government also began work on improving transportation infrastructure, including highways and railways, and took steps to liberalize foreign direct investment rules to attract more capital into the country. In his first term, Prime Minister Modi also made significant diplomatic efforts to strengthen India's foreign relations. He embarked on numerous foreign visits and hosted several world leaders, including Chinese President Xi Jinping and United States President Barack Obama. His proactive foreign policy aimed at forging stronger economic and strategic partnerships. He emphasized a neighborhood-first policy and also reached out to countries across the globe. These early days set the tone for an active and assertive Indian presence in international affairs, reflecting his ambition to position India as the leading global player under his leadership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first term was characterized by several bold and transformative policy decisions aimed at reshaping India's economic landscape and governance structures. A significant focus was placed on improving the nation's infrastructure. Ambitious projects were launched to expand and modernize highways, railways, airports, and shipping ports. Initiatives like Bharatmala Pariyojana for road networks and Sagarmala for port-led development aim to enhance connectivity and reduce logistic costs, thereby boosting economic activity. These infrastructure drives were projected as crucial for India's long-term growth and competitiveness on the global stage. One of the most significant economic reforms undertaken was the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax, or GST, on July 1, 2017. This landmark tax reform subsumed a multitude of central and state taxes into a single unified tax structure. The aim was to simplify the tax system, improve compliance, and create a common national market. While the transition to GST presented some initial challenges for businesses and led to temporary disruptions in the economy, it was widely regarded as a crucial step towards a more efficient and transparent indirect tax regime in India, a reform that had been debated for many years. In a surprising move on November 8, 2016, Prime Minister Modi announced the demonetization of 501,000 rupee banknotes. The stated objectives were to combat black money, counterfeit currency, and terrorism financing. This decision led to a massive exercise of exchanging old notes for new ones, causing significant cash shortages and considerable hardship for many citizens, especially in the informal sector. The economic impact of demonetization was debated, with some analyses pointing to a temporary slowdown in GDP growth. However, the government maintained it was a necessary step for long-term economic cleansing and promoting digital transactions, Alongside these major economic reforms, the Modi government launched numerous social welfare schemes. Programs like the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, providing free LPG connections to women from below poverty line families, and the Ayushman Bharat, a national health protection scheme aimed to directly benefit the underprivileged sections of society. These initiatives, coupled with the focus on infrastructure and economic reforms, formed the core of the government's agenda to build a new India. The emphasis was consistently on large-scale projects and policies intended to bring about fundamental changes in the country's socio-economic fabric. In the spring of 2019, Narendra Modi led the Bharatiya Janata Party to another resounding victory in the general elections. Despite some state election setbacks for the BJP in late 2018, Modi's personal charisma and a heightened focus on national security, particularly following the Pulwama attack and subsequent Balakot airstrikes, played a significant role. The BJP improved its tally to 303 seats, and the NDA secured 353 seats, giving Modi a renewed and even stronger mandate for his second term as Prime Minister. This made him the first non-Congress Prime Minister to be re-elected after completing a full 5-year term. Soon after starting his second term, in August 2019, the Modi government took the significant and controversial step of revoking Article 370 and Article 35A of the Constitution, which granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. The state was also bifurcated into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The government argued this move would fully integrate the region with the rest of India and foster development. However, it was met with widespread criticism, legal challenges, and a security lockdown in the Kashmir Valley, including the detention of political leaders and internet shutdowns. The COVID-19 pandemic, which struck globally in early 2020, posed an unprecedented challenge. The Modi government implemented one of the world's strictest nationwide lockdowns in March 2020 to curb the virus's spread. Economic relief packages were announced, and efforts were made to ramp up healthcare infrastructure and support vaccine development. However, a devastating second wave, driven by the Delta variant in early 2021, overwhelmed the healthcare system, leading to widespread suffering and criticism of the government's preparedness and handling of the crisis, particularly concerning oxygen supplies and vaccine distribution. Another major challenge during this term was the widespread farmers' protests against 3 new agricultural reform laws passed in September 2020. Farmers primarily from Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh feared these laws would dismantle the existing system of minimum support prices and leave them vulnerable to large corporations. They organized prolonged protests, including a massive demonstration at Delhi's borders. After months of agitation, which included the storming of the Red Fort on Republic Day 2021, and following a setback in the West Bengal state elections, Prime Minister Modi announced the repeal of the 3 farm laws in November 2021. The 2024 Lok Sabha elections presented a different political landscape. While Prime Minister Modi and the BJP aimed for an even larger majority, setting a target of 400 seats for the NDA, they faced a more consolidated opposition in the form of the India Alliance, led by the Congress Party. The election campaign was intense, focusing on Modi's track record, development promises, and nationalist themes. The results, declared in June 2024, saw the BJP emerge as the single largest party with 240 seats, but it fell short of securing a majority on its own, a departure from its performances in 2014 and 2019. Despite not achieving an independent majority, the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance collectively secured 293 seats, comfortably crossing the halfway mark of 272 in the 543-member Lok Sabha. This paved the way for Narendra Modi to be sworn in as Prime Minister for a historic 3rd consecutive term. This achievement placed him in a select group of Indian leaders who have served 3 terms as Prime Minister, notably equaling Jawaharlal Nehru's record of 3 successive terms. However, the reliance on coalition partners for government stability marked a new phase in his premiership, requiring greater consensus building. A significant cultural and political milestone during the period leading up to his 3rd term was the consecration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. The temple, built at a site believed by many Hindus to be the birthplace of Lord Ram, had been a central issue for the BJP for decades. Prime Minister Modi presided over the Pran Pratishtha, or consecration ceremony, on January 22, 2024. This event was celebrated with immense fervour by millions across the country and was seen as the fulfilment of a long-standing promise by his party, deeply resonating with its core supporters and highlighting his government's commitment to Hindu cultural sentiments. The construction and inauguration of the Ram Mandir were portrayed not just as a religious event, but as a moment of national pride and cultural rejuvenation. For Prime Minister Modi, it represented a significant achievement, aligning with his vision of restoring India's civilizational glory. The event dominated national discourse and was seen by many as a symbol of a resurgent Hindu identity. It also further solidified his image as a leader deeply connected with the cultural and religious ethos of a large section of the Indian populace, an image that undoubtedly played a role in the political landscape leading into the 2024 elections. Narendra Modi's tenure as Prime Minister has undeniably elevated India's profile on the global stage. He has pursued an active foreign policy, engaging with world leaders from major powers and smaller nations alike. His numerous international visits and the hosting of significant global summits such as the G20 summit in New Delhi in 2023 have showcased India's growing diplomatic influence and its aspirations to play a more decisive role in shaping global narratives and policies. He has consistently advocated for a multipolar world order where India is a significant and independent voice, pushing for reforms in global institutions like the United Nations Security Council. Domestically, his leadership has been marked by ambitious development goals and a focus on large-scale infrastructure projects. Initiatives like Digital India, Skill India and Startup India aim to modernize the economy and empower the youth. There has been a strong emphasis on national pride, self-reliance, what's called Atmanirbhar Bharat, and a revival of cultural heritage. His supporters view him as a transformative leader who has brought decisiveness and a clear vision to the country's governance. The focus on welfare schemes reaching a large number of beneficiaries has also been a key aspect of his popularity and electoral successes over the years. However, his leadership has also faced challenges and criticisms. Concerns have been raised by some sections regarding issues of social cohesion, freedom of the press, and the functioning of democratic institutions. Economic challenges such as job creation, inflation, and income inequality continue to be areas requiring sustained attention. His government's strong nationalist stance, while popular with many, has also led to debates about minority rights and secularism. Navigating these complex domestic issues while pursuing an ambitious global agenda remains a key task for his administration as it moves forward in its third term. As Narendra Modi continues his journey as Prime Minister, his legacy is still being written. His path from the humble beginnings in Vadnagar to becoming a three-time Premier is a remarkable story of determination and political astuteness. His vision for India includes making it a developed nation, Viksit Bharat, by 2047, the centenary of India's independence. The coming years will be crucial in determining the long-term impact of his policies and leadership on India's trajectory, both domestically and in its engagement with the wider world as he steers the nation with the support of his coalition partners.